Time for the Veterans' Voice, where we dedicate some time to the issues affecting veterans and their families, trying to bring those issues and problems and challenges that they face while transitioning from the military to civilian life and continue to support them and their families post-military service. Tonight, Hugh Andree is here with us, British Army veteran, of course, and he's brought a good mate of his, ex-Scottish rugby player, Matty Stewart. Good evening to both of you. Thanks very much for joining us. Hugh, good to see you. Good to see you. What have you got for us this week?
Well, I think the biggest news, Mike, and very much thanks to talkTV and the Veterans' Voice, is that our good friend Badger down in West Cornwall, who was evicted a couple of weeks ago, has been given £20,000.
That's amazing, isn't it?
By an 80-year-old RAF veteran.
Wow.
Which has allowed him, he's got temporary accommodation elsewhere, but that's really set him on his way to buying some land and really, you know, ensuring that Noon Craig as a veterans retreat will be safe and secure in the future. So he's about to launch a fundraiser to try and raise another 20,000 to get him 3 or 4 acres. But that's a massive, massive win, and a huge amount of that credit has to go to talkTV and the Veterans' Voice. Yes,
listen, well, we're very proud to help with anything that we can. But what a great move from the RAF veteran to give up that sort of money. What will Badger be able to do with it, do you think?
Well, I mean, when I was last down there, they were looking at about £10,000 an acre on the coast, basically looking at sort of land that's good for grazing. But as we know, Badger wants to be by the sea. He does a lot of cold water therapy. He teaches the guys and girls how to forage, teaches them dry stone walling. So, you know, he's got his heart set on trying to find some land down there. So, look, this is a huge start that will set him on his way.
Brilliant stuff. And you brought us a special guest, as I say, Matty Stewart, former Scotland international rugby player.
Yeah, I do, and I've known this young man for many, many years. I knew him when he was a young lance corporal in the army, and he turned up, and because he was a bit of a lump, we said, right, boxing or rugby? And he said, I'll do both. The rest is history, because he went on, he started off playing, I don't know, for the Canterbury Old Fallopians 15, and within about half an hour was at Blackheath, and an hour later was at Northampton. And he went on to win 34 caps for Scotland. But, you know, what I love about Matty is not only did he set his heart and mind on being the best that he could in the army, when he left, he decided he wanted to set up his own business. He sort of used his determination, his tenacity, his professionalism, and today he runs Workwear Northampton. And I'm not going to steal his thunder because he's bigger than me. So I'll hand you over to Mr. Matty Stewart.
Yeah. So, Matty, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. What did you find was the most difficult part of starting a business coming out of the military? Because presumably money wasn't exactly something you had a lot of.
Yeah, well, it was a low barrier to entry, really. So I wanted something where I didn't have to spend too much money starting the enterprise. Right. So I worked above a mate's garage with a phone, and I helped someone out who already had a clothing business, and I found out I could probably run the business better than him, so I took it over, and that was over 10 years ago now. We're going quite well, actually.
Right. So what is it that you do specifically?
We supply embroidered and printed workwear to the construction, and also sportswear to the sportswear industry.
Okay. And as far as coming out of the military and starting to do all that, was it just something that you wanted to do, that you had to do yourself? Did you get any help?
I did get help, and there's a lot of help out there. But you know, you spend all your days in the army and in my elite sport, so you are sort of like drilled into working hard and being very disciplined. And I think those are the traits which, you know, held you in good stead when you're running your own business. So I transferred those skills into my business, and it's gone really well, thank you.
Right. And do you have an opportunity for anybody that you look out for who is coming out of the military to try and sort of bring them on into your business as well?
Yeah, well, there's a good network of ex-forces, LinkedIn, social media, and you see it all the time. So, I employ one of my old buddies from my unit, who's probably one of my best employees and amazingly task focused. And, I can give him any job and he gets that done. So that's what the military really bring to the workforce.
Mm. Yeah, no, I think they absolutely do. Hugh, let me bring you back in to this, because you and I have spoken about many different opportunities that people can have coming out of the military, trying to get themselves into work. And there is a huge kind of panorama, isn't there, of military companies that have been started by people from the military and who will help other members of the military get into it.
Yeah, there are. And, the Veterans Minister's engaged a sort of an employment program in the last couple of weeks. But really, at the end of the day, Mike, companies have got to give veterans a chance.
Yeah.
And if they set them up correctly, don't set them up to fail.